So here we go. I'm gonna do my best to show you what I do with harnesses, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along on your own. This is a 1993 Legacy harness. It reminds me of my very first harness in 2008. Little shot of me here. Look at that little baby face. This van right here started Busaru essentially. 2008. Moved into it in early 2010. So this harness really takes me back to some simpler times. So we've got the ECM test and read memory connectors. We got the double diode, the big engine connector blocks here, the alternator harness, select monitor, fuel pump relay, main relay, MAF and the igniter, O2 sensor, cam, crank, and knock sensors, and engine connectors. This guy's already pretty well cleaned up, but I'm gonna clean it up a little more. We got some tails and so forth that we're just gonna try and get the forming right on this guy. As I'm cleaning it up, thankfully he marked where he threw a hole in the insulation, it looks like. So that's super helpful. if you do happen to accidentally cut your insulation, make sure to mark it, and then you can come back and repair it, or just replace the entire line. So awesome. Here's a good example of cleaning up. So on this side here, we can see there's a white wire in this first position here, and he was going here. So anything that is clipped on one side due to your trimming, going to weird stuff we don't need, you can clip the other end, and then that'll lead to the ECM. What you'll find is when you have all these leads over here and you identify them, then you'll be able to figure out where they go. These ones in particular are gonna be linked to this select monitor cable here. And we want this. We want to be able to connect up to the computer and do some real basic analysis on the bench and make sure everything's working right. This is also a great way that you can get into the ECM while you're setting up your system and making sure everything's working right. Anyway, getting back to this guy, I'm gonna go and look for any other loose ends that are connected on this side and clip them, and they're gonna lead back to the ECM, and then we'll identify them. There we go, everything's cleaned up. We have about 20 pins that we need to worry about. Now it's time to ID some wires. You can get yourself a pinout sheet from Busaru.com. Just click on info and go down there to the pinouts resources. And now we view the wire from this side, and we find them in here, and then we locate them right here. And just to reiterate, we're only labeling the ones that we don't know what they go to. Now that we got everything labeled, we got tach, VSS, park switch, neutral position switch, AC, cut relay control. What's really cool about this guy, he's taken the entire HVAC system from his donor car and putting it into his Beetle. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. Now we're gonna take all our sensors and get them routed to how they're gonna look with the engine plugs. So you can see how simple this stuff really is. It's, we got our engine connectors, igniter and MAF, other engine connectors. Not super hard. It can be intimidating, and totally understand that. But hopefully this will help. We have it somewhat organized, and you can kind of see the igniter and the MAF are super long. So these are going to be shortened quite a bit. Starting to shape up a little. We haven't even cut anything. Igniter here. So 2 channels go to feed the coil in the engine plugs. So that's the red and the blue. So we're going to repin either this side or that side. Got plenty of wire. The reason why I have this one pulled out, it's got some damage on it, so we're gonna repin this side. These are the signals for those two channels. So we're gonna repin the ECM side. We have the MAF, you can see it's crazy long. O2 and all the engine connectors over there. These guys here are oil pressure switch and water temp. And the reason why I'm doing it here is because you can kind of see the whole thing up on my workshop. It's kind of, you know, it's set up for me, not for filming. So one of the side benefits is, and you can see that you can do this anywhere. You could do it on the hood of your truck, whatever, tailgate. I used to do them when we were traveling the country on picnic benches. So don't be intimidated. It's not as hard as you would imagine. Now with the block, you got a couple options. If you don't want to mess with it, you just secure it and you're done. You don't have to do any splicing. Another option, you can de-pin this guy. Male pins there, terminals there. Secure them and, you know, throw some heat shrink around them. Third option, which is you can just cut these and splice them with a butt splice. Fourth option, which I prefer to do, is cut these guys. And you'll find the one that goes to the ECM. Obviously, this is just an example that I'm showing you. You do it with all of them here. So that's that guy. And this guy's from the engine connectors. And you'll repin this guy. You'll throw the proper ECM pin on this guy and he'll go right in there. And now you don't have any splices in your wire. So still haven't done any splices, we're just kind of organizing. So I gently just work the wire, something like that, so I know, hey, that's its partner. So when I go to the splicing table, that's where we'll do all this stuff, once we're all organized and this guy's out of the picture. Now that we have this guy out of the mix and everything that we know we need to splice, we'll go ahead and take it up to the splicing table. Here is the igniter, just has a little nick in it. So these are my favorite connectors to de-pin. They're so simple. There's no locking mechanism on these guys, which is pretty nice for, you know, for us. You can kind of see right in there, there's a little lock and you just kind of pull it, you know, kind of pry it down a touch. Yep. And you just kind of gently bring that out. When you're ordering pins, you can order new seals if you'd like, or you can reuse these old ones. You just kind of pry the old guy off. You can see it's just, I mean, this is a good look at how to re-crimp them as well. If you're going to be re-crimping and repinning things. So you can just pull these guys off and give them a, could even give them a little bath if you felt like it. These are in great shape. This whole harness, for being what, like 33 or 4 years old, is just in great shape. The red and blue polka dots coming from the igniter connector. The, you know, standard red and blue here. They're going to mate up with these guys, and these ones aren't quite long enough from the engine connectors to get all the way to the igniter where I'm placing that. We're going to repin the main engine connectors. Now that the igniter has been repinned, we can go ahead and get cranking on these fellers. Before I jump to the ECM connectors, this is actually really common on these early EJs. Just this stuff gets somewhat brittle. Just, you know, 35 years of use. Really inspect them, especially this knock sensor. I'm always seeing stuff going on here, but like I said, this one's actually in a pretty good shape. But yeah, see, the insulation just gets hard. The copper gets hard. Luckily, we've got plenty of length on these guys, so we can clip these back and repair. Brought these out just because you can get new connectors for these. You can see the castings aren't, you know, they're just not as robust. And if they're not all cracked up, may as well reuse them. Cam crank and knock are looking good. And I also coated them in Kapton, just try to avoid further degradation. Let's tackle that nick. Couple options. You can pull the wire out, and you know, in this particular wire, you got this big old junction, and you can slide some heat shrink over. You can put some mastic on it and really seal it in. Or in this case, just going to snip it right there, pull this all the way up to the connector and repin. That guy's repinned. We also, you know, eliminate that junction. That was about right here. And this guy just goes all the way to the main relay. Now getting to the ECM side, dealing with all these guys. And what we're gonna do is do a lot of repinning. There's two styles of pins on this guy, large and small, and tin and gold. So sensors like the throttle position sensor, we're gonna go with gold. And usually those are the top row. Here's the difference, gold on the left, tin on the right. Gold is used for sensors, and you don't want to mix up the metals. So you don't want to put a tin on a gold pin. It'll potentially have issues in the future, and then you'll be kicking yourself. So spend a little extra on the gold. On these ECM connectors, they're like little gates. So you got these locking tabs here and on the other side. And then once you get those popped, you got one that goes upward, one that goes downward. So on the upper rows, so this is all Subaru Select Monitor stuff for this guy. So top row on the ECM, you can see, I don't know if you can or not, yeah, gold. Gold on the top row, so we're going with gold pins. I forgot to mention, similar on other Subarus, especially like the late 90s stuff, there's a little T. You can kind of see the T here. You'll put your pry tool in, your depinning tool or a safety pin or something, and then you'll lift up and then pull the pin out, and you'll hear it kind of click. Where the tip of my finger is, there's the little divot, and that's where the little safety latch is right there. So you just need to pry that up and then it'll come out. That looks a little better. The ECM's all repinned. Took some out of the MAF and all these guys. So just remember, if you are going to repin, grab some tin and gold connectors, or terminals rather. Just wrapped up testing using the Subaru Select Monitor and the B10 scan tool with the old printer port. You can find that scan tool on how to build this and get the image, so you can boot to an old computer and test these guys. The interior side is all wrapped up and everything's all organized and ready for covering. And all covered up. And there is the 1993 Legacy harness. ECM, relays, test, read memory, Subaru Select Monitor. We go out and we have the MAF, igniter, and the O2. We go out and we have the engine connectors, more engine connectors, cam crank, and knock sensor. And in this one, we have the alternator control wires. I highly recommend going with larger gauge wire. 6 gauge is a good size. You could even go to 4. That's a good place to be. So there it is. And that's that 1993 harness set up for a Super Beetle, or regular Beetle, I can't remember exactly. In any case, you know, they are a little more complex just due to that large connector, but remember, you can just keep that connector if you want. You can do butt splices right there, or you can repin everything. All that stuff is on the website. Feel free to have a look, busaru.com, and click on info. If you need to reach out, happy to help. Busaru at busaru.com. See you guys on the next one.